We are waking up to clear skies after a little line of strong storms moved overnight. Good morning, everyone. Time to rise and shine. Get that coffee. I'm Duke Carter, and thanks for joining us for this Sunday edition of the Eyewitness Morning News. I'm joined now with meteorologist, weather expert.
That's right.
All the hats and some.
I need a lot of hats.
Chris Franklin.
And that cup of coffee.
We need it all as well.
We all need it. Kind of on the struggle bus this morning.
On the struggle bus this morning, but what's not a struggle? The weather.
No, it's not at all. Much, much nicer outside. We had some storms that moved through late yesterday, and the good news is those storms are gone now. Really didn't see much in the way of severe weather here, as a lot of it stayed more to our north.
Thank you, Chris. Authorities discovered a second Facebook account created by the man accused of burning down 3 African-American churches here in Louisiana. According to the secret account, accused arsonist Holden Matthews believed that Baptist worshipers were brainwashed. The account was listed under the name Noctis Matthews, who lived in Opelousas, Louisiana, but was later confirmed by an acquaintance that the account was created by Matthews. The account also described the user as a metal fan, the same music genre authorities say influenced Matthews to burn down the churches. In an April 6th post, he expressed his hatred for Baptists. He wrote in part, quote, "I wish more black people would look into ancient beliefs pre-Christian Africa, as opposed to following a religion that was forced onto them." Now, 4 days later, Matthews was arrested as the main suspect in the fires. He now faces 3 counts of simple arson of a religious building. Matthews is set to appear in court tomorrow for a hearing at 9 a.m. in St. Landry Parish.
I wanted to at least reach out to the pastors and just tell them that I, as well as my family, were praying for them and their congregation as they try to navigate this time.
Louisiana churches that were set on fire over the last few weeks are getting some help rebuilding from former Saint star Ben Watson. The tight end called the pastors to show his support. Carice Jackman spoke with Ben Watson and a pastor who says the simple call lifted his spirit in a way he never imagined.
He's known for his consistency.
And you can also help. There's now a GoFundMe page set up for the 3 churches, and we'll have the link for you on our website at wwltv.com. Well, the family behind the Unity One Salon is now working to rebuild after the salon went up in flames. The salon served the Broadmoor neighborhood for more than 30 years, and salon owner Beverly Smith and her husband have 8 children. 6 of them actually work in the salon. The shop was a part of their childhood, and most of them moved away after Katrina, but this tragedy is bringing them back home.
With them being in their later years, for them to have such a tragedy, losing everything that they pretty much love, it's just hard to see them have to deal with that, but we've all kind of got together to help them out.
Now, the cost to demolish the building and totally rebuild is $500,000, and their neighbors are The Propeller and are throwing a fundraising event tomorrow at 4035 Washington Avenue. Now, for more information on tickets and times, go to our website at wwltv.com. Well, we saw heavy rain overnight, but things turned deadly when the storm moved through Texas yesterday. The victims, and we're also going to take a look at the damage. But Chris, the weather today in our area.
Yeah, much nicer today. We really dodged the worst of.
A severe weather system has already claimed the lives of 2 children in East Texas. They were 8 and 3 years old and were sitting in the back seat of a car when a tree fell on it. At least a dozen others were hurt when the storms rolled through. A suspected tornado pounded the small city of Franklin, which is about 125 miles south of Dallas. Strong winds toppled houses, as you can see in this video, and power lines. Well, weather expert Chris Franklin is here, and Chris, we lucked out. You know, we didn't have that severe weather like we did in Texas.
No, Texas, North Louisiana, Central Mississippi, moving into Alabama now. We really were in the lower end risk of any severe weather, with the greater risk being up to our north, and we really did dodge a bullet there.
Good.
But we are benefiting from the cooler weather, and a beautiful day is on the way today.
I like that. Good news, Chris. That's what we do.
Is the top? No, you don't have a convertible.
The sunroof.
The sunroof, will that be open on your car?
Yes, it will be. Can I go on the lake?
You can go on the lake. It's going to be chilly, though. Are you going to be in a tank top today, though?
No, we're not
That's
doing that.
the real question. We have had across the...
Kindly, Chris, there's only 1 day left before the federal tax filing deadline. So where can taxpayers go if they still need help preparing and filing their tax returns? Well, Leslie Sadowski with Biz New Orleans has a few suggestions in this week's BizCast.
Well, don't even try getting the IRS.
Welcome back to the second half hour of the Eyewitness Morning News. The rain is gone and parties are still continuing this weekend with big festivals. Today is the last day for the French Quarter Festival and the 8th annual Ponchatoula Strawberry Fest. The ground might be a little still damp this morning for the strawberry race, but that kicks off in just about an hour at 7:30 with the festival opening at 10 a.m. and closing at 6 a.m. today. Again, good morning and welcome back to the second half hour of the Eyewitness Morning News. I want to mention that it was the 48th annual Strawberry Fest.
Oh,
I want to make sure we get that correct for our viewers.
48th annual?
48th annual.
What'd you say?
I don't know what number I said.
Oh.
Again,
We're
coffee.
We're both on the struggle bus. I'm 2 cups in, and I need another one.
I have no coffee. Usually I get donuts, but we're just going to power through this
There are
morning.
no donuts in the newsroom.
No donuts in the newsroom right now. But it's okay, though. We're going to make it through because today
No, it is not okay.
it's going to be a good day because
Because
of
I
the
was
weather.
planning on going into the newsroom before the next weather hit.
I am so sorry.
Okay.
We're going to get through it.
Good to
Chris.
know. Glad you told me.
We're going to get through it,
I'm
Chris.
going to be kind of sad this half hour.
Our producer's telling me to go away, Chris, so you got to do the weather,
Yeah,
man. Go.
you might want to, because
Chris, investigators with the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office are investigating a shooting that left 2 men injured. It happened in Harvey near 1616 Paylett Avenue after 10 o'clock last night. Now, detectives say the 2 men suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and right now what led up to the shooting, that's still being investigated. Now to a story of a dramatic shootout between Florida police and a suspect who allegedly stole a pickup truck at gunpoint and then nearly killed a sheriff's deputy. Aerial footage shows the gunman firing his weapon into traffic as he tries to escape. Kenneth Craig has the details.
Police body camera video.
Faster internet and cell service could be a step closer to reality after an announcement from the White House. President Trump was joined by the head of the Federal Communications Commission Friday. The agency is auctioning off 5G spectrum airwaves to phone providers in December and creating a nearly $20 billion fund to expand high-speed broadband in rural areas. The White House says 5G will give our phones and other devices speeds up to 100 times faster than current 4G networks. The new technology could also open new industries.
Secure 5G networks will absolutely be a vital link to America's prosperity and national security in the 21st century. The race to 5G is a race America must win.
Chicago and Minneapolis are 2 cities that have 5G coverage right now. Now, Motorola is already selling a 5G phone, and more 5G phones are expected to hit the market in the coming months. One of the key players in the massive college cheating scandal is awaiting sentencing. Mark Riddell admits he took the SAT and ACT test in place of some students, and in some cases, changed the answers so students could get a higher score. Here's Carter Evans.
36.
Morehouse College will admit transgender students beginning next fall. The university is the nation's only African-American school for men. The policy was supported by the community, faculty, current students, and alumni. And according to the vice president of enrollment at Morehouse, the policy stands with the LGBTQ community. However, the policy states that men self-identifying as a woman or any man transitioning to a woman will not be considered for admission. Any exemptions must be granted by a 3-person committee. And there's more news on the way during this second half hour of the Eyewitness Morning News. Easter is almost here, and for many Catholics, we find out why they abstain from eating meat on Fridays during Lent. Taking a trip back in time on this day in history, the Black Sunday dust storm moved across the Central Plains. In 1935, the day started with the sunshine, but was soon replaced with the Dust Bowl drought. Temperatures dropped to the 40s with a wall of dust turning the entire area into midnight darkness. That day marked a turning point for the federal government's recognition of soil erosion in the region. The Soil Conservation Service was created less than 2 weeks later. And our meteorologist, weather expert, many man of many hats, Chris Franklin joins us now with a look at today's forecast. How you feel?
Not too bad. Still kind of tired. We were up early this morning, kind of tracking these storms. Luckily, never really had any warnings here of note.
Right.
And no real damage reports. We
Good
had
news there.
we had a tree down in Jefferson and Metairie, but that was from the strong winds that we had ahead of the storms.
And speaking of food for Catholics, the Lenten season is almost over and Easter is nearly here. So for many, Friday's a day to abstain from meat. But why? Well, I dug around and we found out. Here in New Orleans, after the big party day, Mardi Gras, we start the Lenten season, and it's during this time frame Catholics, specifically on Fridays, refrain from eating meat. But why Friday? Well, leaders in the Catholic Church say it's one way Catholics can show respect for the passion and death of Jesus. Specifically, when this started is a bit unclear, but this led the Church to recognize every Friday during Lent as a Good Friday. And the reason why Catholics don't eat meat, because for much of the Church's history, meat is associated with feasts and celebrations. And in most ancient cultures, meat was considered a delicacy, and to celebrate the death of Jesus didn't seem right. However, there have been exceptions. Some bishops have allowed Catholics to eat meat when St. Patrick's Day falls on Friday, since considering its ceremonious for many Irish Catholics. And instead of eating meat, Catholics ate fish. Now, exactly when it happened is a bit unclear, but according to the United States Conference of Bishops, meat comes only from animals such as chickens, cows, sheep, or pigs, all of which live on land. Birds are also considered meat. Now, fish, that's a different category of animal. You have saltwater and freshwater species of fish, amphibians, reptiles, and shellfish. That's allowed. Now, the fish fry mostly took off in the 1920s and 30s when pubs were unable to sell beer during Prohibition. Fried fish eaters, they were seen as a very profitable source of new income with many Germanic Catholics. The fish fry has since expanded across the nation, and it's most prominent in areas where Catholicism and to some extent people of German descent still reside. Archbishop Gregory Amen says, quote, "Our churches often use fish fries not only as a means to provide the meatless meal, but also to build fellowship and invite the community to experience the parish family. So all are welcome to come join us not just at the Eucharistic table of the Lord on Sundays, but at the cafeteria table of fellowship on Fridays."